I'm Keith Fuller, and I have the honor of helping organize the leadership track here. These elements that we're going to talk about are actually a piece of leadership that I think we kind of overlook in terms of games development, and it's really leading community interaction, right? Representation of your brand, of your game, what have you, in all sorts of channels. And so I apologize I haven't had a chance to meet every one of you personally yet. Hopefully I'll get to that afterwards. I'm Keith. But Blaine is going to be moderating everything here, so I will turn it over to you. Let you do all the intros.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. As I said, I'm Blaine Humphreys, and I'm actually one of the chief editors at 2-dash.com. It is an indie game website. And this lovely panel is composed of people from all over the industry, from YouTube. The Easy and Shadows are just launching a successful Kickstarter campaign using the Surfer community. We've got High Res with their community. And we've got, I mean, not High Res, I'm sorry. It is High Res. Or no, it is High Res.
You got it right.
Yeah.
What? And making noises? That's what I do for a living. What the hell?
And we also have Mr. Slidebox But so to kick this off, guys, social media is a very big part of what you're doing. And how would you guys effectively utilize that? Let's say, what is the important way to really get it going?
I guess find some sort of topic that we didn't have any sort of being in it in the art show except for Smite once we on Twitch, and we didn't have a community set up for all the people that, but we wanted to see, what the so we started the show and it became really popular. We kept going.
For us, we're working on an indie game still are. So we started a series. How many of you seen indie game movie? It's kind of like that. It's a reality YouTube series. We're actually showing us working on the game, the human aspect, like the late nights, the caffeine abuse, the engine crashing, artists not getting stuff done, just showing off like the human aspect of game development and really like allowing people to get emotionally connected to our product.
For me, realistically, is as a YouTuber, you are the product. You are the reason why people wake up in the morning and sometimes you can be an essence of either taking frustration out. You can be an essence of, entertainment. Television, to an extent, as years pass, has become more and more dull. At least to me, I don't know if any of you guys have actually even watched TV that much, unless the big stuff. But internet has been becoming such a big means of entertainment, and reality is, the more you put yourself out there, you find ways and means to connect to them, regardless of by giving them your subscriber base a name, going out there and really seeing what you can do, little by little. It's a learning experience. Nobody wrote a book on how to become a YouTuber. Nobody wrote a book on how to do things right, correctly. So essentially, we're paid not only me, but everybody out there that's becoming a YouTuber and entertainer or whatever. You're essentially creating a book for other people of the next generation or whatever that be. And little by little, it'll become easier as it goes, and it's a trial and error, realistically. You never know what you do right, you never know what you do wrong. It just happens, and it's what you do with that success, what you do with that failure that sets, the steps for the future. So.
It's true. Our first art show was horrible. You're gonna stick this little artist that just sits and draws in front of a camera.
It's like having tough skin also, because there's going to be people that aren't going to like your stuff or like you, and you have to have tough skin, and that's when you can manage to have a good show. You don't show a lot of emotion or a lot of negative emotion. It's always like
A lot of things. As big as you.
It comes out in our game. That's the thing, though. That's the thing that he says. So the size also depends. For me in the beginning, it was something that you could actually reply to individual people. Since I was at the beginning such a small YouTuber, I wouldn't get as much attention. So I was actually being able to be personal with individual people as they came in. The bigger it gets, that kind of gets stripped away from me, because the reality is, I see all my subscribers as my babies. All of them, I got to take care of them. And if I cannot give one all the attention, then unfortunately I can't do that to all of them because one of them could get really upset because you're showing one more attention to the other. So as things go up, things get more positive, things get more success for you, but there's also such a negative thing that comes from it. So the ability to like know what to do with the negativity, the ability to know what, right, so if I start answering to negative things, people won't know that that's my trigger. So they're going to constantly just for, and excuse my language, for shits and giggles, they're just going to say something negative because they know that you're going to get that answer they so crave. So when you start now, just in this aspect, as you grow, you got to make sure that you start replying, you start doing what you want to constantly do in the future. So if you want more positivity and you want to like kind of have a set for that, you just start answering to the positive things. You start giving time to what you can that matters. So I think that's another thing. It's like it's with negativity and positivity with our industry.
Okay, I know Slapboxville and Malco and Tyler, you guys actually, when you guys got bigger, you actually could change the way you communicate.
Yeah, we were pretty small. We're not as big as them. We've like maybe 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. But yeah, at first we were able to respond to everyone. Everyone got anything to say. But yeah, as you become bigger in social media and everything, like it completely changed. Like first it was like the entire team responding, and then it's like we have to start doing things like live streams or answering questions and Kickstarter updates targeted to everyone, or putting them in FAQs and stuff, because it really, like I was waking up and spending half of my day just responding to social media management to the same question. It's like, am I making a game or am I doing this?
I guess along those lines, yeah, no, as you become more and more successful, it's not just the name of the game, like it's real life and everything. Like if you have a shit ton of friends, you can't keep track of all of them. You can't be as personal with 100 people as you're personal with maybe say 5. So it's hard too.
For us, the best way to be personal is we are incredibly transparent in our entire process. Like our video footage that we upload to YouTube from our series, not edited really at all. It's edited in the sense of making a cohesive story, but we don't rehearse anything. There's nothing hidden. What you see is what you get. So like they know that it's real. Yeah, we have that.
And since you guys just ran a successful Kickstarter campaign, like how are you able to turn your YouTube fans into backers?
You know, that was actually part of what we thought. So we had 10,000 YouTube subscribers, and we're like, man, we got this. And we brought up like 2,800 backers on Kickstarter, but then, you know, a bunch of them came from like top of the gaming site. So actually the turnover from YouTube wasn't that good. And what we found is the best thing that got them is literally showing like us working towards the Kickstarter, staying up all night. We look like shit, you know, we're tired, we're depressed, we're upset. They're like, damn, I'm in this with them, man. I want to see this game happen. Yeah, we're posting updates like, man, I'm running a fever because I've been sleeping, I've been popping Adderalls, and you know, they're like, oh, we got to get this game funded. You know, they're becoming posting. That's how we did it, is because, you know, they're watching this and they're feeling what we're feeling. So, I think at the end we had people on our Kickstarter comments saying we did it, and then our fans knowing that like they helped push us. It's when the fans become so involved that they're fighting with you. That's what we want, is them to be involved, so that they're talking about some of the negativity and stuff like that. Like it was nice that once we got to that point where we had a larger community, like we didn't have to respond to some of it because the more loyal fans that we had were selecting those people. The newcomers that were, you know, heckling us or whatever, like we had no idea these guys were doing this for years. And I still did those, and that's my feelings.
Alright, so this was mostly for the high-res people. You guys have like your mini small community, your community art show. How do those efforts in your community involve to your game?
like really, I don't know, because we're so consistent with it, that like we're able to help that community because they know that they can like log in on and this time every single week they have a chance to see their article, and it really, we've gotten so many people, even parents, that are like, I'm so glad you guys are doing this show because like I haven't been able to do this song forever. It's like the first time I've gone back in art. It's like really encouraging to hear such like positive
streaming 24/7 and nothing else really. So it's completely new for us to do an art show. And so in the beginning, yeah, it was just me and Caleb, but then towards like now, definitely it's community driven. The community comes to watch the show because of the community art. Everybody's like inspired by the artwork of the community. Yes, maybe we'll draw a bit, we'll be inspired by that. Most of the time, it's like community.
Well, like, yeah, Spawn, that started out as a series that we had no idea what to do with it. We were like trying to do topical stuff, like talking about back when YouTube was blocking people from their own channels for the content they were posting out. So, like, we started out doing topical stuff, but then we realized that it was the fans that were watching it, so we started incorporating more stuff like from Reddit and like running gags in the community, and people ended up responding to that much more. So, I mean, as long as you keep the game on their mind in any way that you can, like, I mean, I think comedy is the best way. So, just having that content out there for them to watch, so when they're not playing the game, you can see like, oh, there's a dumb video that I can watch. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. So,
That's why the art show is just so relaxed in a way. Like, compared to like, say, Dev Talk for high res. Dev Talk is like these two dudes in suits talking like they're sportscasters on ESPN. We're just two chicks wearing these microphones. The most serious thing about the show is the microphones we're wearing. Yeah, we're just like we're stupid. Like production is in our ears and we're like, guys, sit up straight. And we're just like, oh yeah, so yeah, so it's very lax and people respond better to that because then they're not so intimidating. They're like, oh, we see a show that's very calm. It's an art, it's fine. They don't feel like it's not intimidating.
Yeah, then I was just saying, like, how do you think things like, because you guys are artists, so how do you really keep the people, like normal people, encouraged and spitting art?
We offer incentives too, just submitting art, like gym giveaways and stuff like that, contests, kind of tight to it, so some new goals, yeah. So that really is seeing if there's something forward we're doing. Other than that, we just treat it as fun. So if something's fun, people are gonna like.
Yeah, we have like kids that send us artwork that's been drawn on their notebook during their math class. They're like, oh,
Some people have painted their walls.
yeah, like the walls. If there's vandalism we receive, it's
It's great. Yeah, so it is anything.
Yeah.
We even had something like a cake.
Yeah, but they haven't sent it yet, so we like really blacklisted that. We're so excited. Yeah, it's all about just being relaxed because that's what people want. Something fun and easy in the middle of like this huge screen. It's 24/7 art shows. That one moment, that 1 hour, just like
Yeah, something different.
we're watching something. Other than that.
I think we ask a bunch of questions too, and stuff, so they can get involved. We see in the chat. So definitely trying to be as people as we can. Like when we first started, I think the first week we got like 10 drawings in, and like now we're getting like 150 a week. No,
It's a big jump.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we were able to spend like, 10 minutes on each piece, and now we
Speed.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
People get so excited when they see their artwork.
That's great.
So, slide artists. How do you build a community among your people?
How do you build a community in YouTube? How do you YouTube? How do you make people interested in you? How do you, why am I being like that? Why am I saying questions? How do you live, guys? Let me tell you. I just went with a mentality that I guess took my life lessons and everything. I went through a lot of phases as a kid. I was a skater kid. I was a goth kid. I was I went through the whole phases and everything. And when you go through life, you witness and you see yourself what people are drawn to, what pushes people, what scares people, and eventually, time kind of molded me who I am and kind of guided me to like, all right, dude, you know what people like. They like to feel, like they're connected with you. So as I went in, I gave my subscriber base a name. They're called the homies, even though some people are like, why you call that? That sounds really whatever. That sounds. It could vary depending on opinion, but that's their name. At the end of the day, they know that if you're like, oh, are you a homie? Yeah, I'm a homie too. What's up? And they feel connected. even though they don't know each other. They might not know themselves personally because they're obviously YouTube is the internet, so you can't go, hi, how are you doing? And break that. But that's the charm of the internet, that it takes that awkwardness of like, who are you? And like, is he gonna accept me? You know, when you give them a name, it became a lot easier for them. And I saw a lot of other people, as I started doing that, a lot of other people kind of fell into the same tray or like the same mentality, giving their subscriber base a name and really interacting with them in a means of how they could. Because again, the more you get, the bigger you get, the harder it will get. Like you will love to just talk to them individually, but it's just going to get harder and harder. And that's one of the, I guess, the charms that made it fun for me in the beginning. Being able to make somebody's day better. Because again, aside from the YouTube thing, obviously I play video games. Like people like this is the reason why I can feed my mom and my puppy. You know, they make the games, I play them, and essentially I'm paying marketing to them. But I still make the ways to live. So my job essentially comes down to, hey, there's a lot of games out there. There's a lot of AAA games like Call of Duty or check out Destiny, and those games, they don't need marketing because, well, they pay for it, right? We can either help it or actually unveil the reality behind it. So like, hey, you see this game that costs us $60? After a few hours, the story is garbage. And you're gonna be saying, why did I waste $60? Where sometimes I can get like one of the most simplest games that came out in Game Boy recently is called, or Game Boy now, 3DS, Tomodachi Life, where essentially it's like a downplayed version of The Sims, which is pretty much like you live somebody else's life. And I showcase how much fun something on the go could be in. That series has gone thousands and thousands and thousands of views because at the end of the day, I pretty much was showcasing something that not thousands of people were playing at the same time, and I had genuine fun with it. So people, at the end of the day, if you're a YouTuber, they're gonna come down to you. If you're in entertainment or whatever you want to do, remember, you are the product. You are the reason why people come to you. So make sure that you can be the best you can be. Because, well, remember, you're competing with thousands and thousands. And every day, somebody just says, oh my God, look at Skyless Minecraft. Oh my God, look at Boundless Gaming. Oh, look at the creatures. Look at all these people. And they're going to get motivated to become another YouTuber. So essentially, every day you got constant competition. And bring it on. Like, I love competition. I want to see what I'm doing wrong. I want to see what could I have done better. I want to see how can I improve. Because again, the moment you limit yourself to say, oh, I know everything now, that's the moment you fail. When you feel like you're already comfortable in the spot, that's the moment you fail. Because again, there's not everything has been invented, not everything has been shown. As time goes on, you see new things. If you're one of those people that can sponge information and suck it in and be like, how can I put my own twist? You'll never be bored. You'll never, as a YouTuber, as an entertainer, you never stop learning. And that's the best part of it. When it comes to making a community, growing with them, making them attached to you and showing your struggles. And even more so, like, even though I'm a YouTuber that plays games, I went to like making a series called the No Topics, where it was something that I would talk about depression, I would talk about, homosexuality, all these things that people are so taboo about. Like, they're like, oh, you can't speak about that on the internet. I'm like, listen, I'm going to speak about it because the reality is, maybe a few of my subscribers are going through that stuff. And you want to find a way to really connect with them in, I guess, the next level. And for me, that's how it was. We're all gamers, but at the end of the day, we're people too. So we want to connect. We want to be treated as people.
As your fan base grows and changes, maybe you no longer have like that one-on-one interaction. Like, don't be afraid to kind of change the format up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, your dialogue you're having these days has to change. You're no longer in the comment. I mean, we've tried so many different formats, and more than once we're like, this is terrible. We have to change this. Like, people have seen it, but like we finally arrived at the point where like it's easy for us. It's natural. Like, we don't have to rehearse anything, like I said, and people love it. We have that communication. So, I mean, though we're not in the comments, like, we'll have that.
Yeah.
How do you keep like your own favorites happy whenever you have to change the formats?
Here's the thing. The first rule about keeping people happy is that you can't please everybody. That's the first rule. You will try your hardest to be like, I want everybody to be happy, but if you focus so much on other people or the fans, like, you want to be there for them. You want to give them the time of the day. You want to showcase that they matter, but they, at the end of the day, they come for you. So they find escape to their everyday bullshit, let it be work, let it be school, let there be problems with their family. They find a means of escaping that through you. So in order to like, you stop worrying. At one point, you kind of have to stop worrying about who's happy or not. What matters is how am I doing things? Is it making people happy with how I am doing it? So essentially, it's like people are gonna say, "Man, you changed." Like people this day, it's like I miss the old Sly Fox. I'm like, old Sly Fox had 5,000 subscribers, and I could actually reply to the majority of you guys. And it became a point where like I was like they were saying, like they were so engulfed in like I guess your mind that I gotta make a game. So essentially it's like, yeah, I gotta make content for you guys. I gotta give you those videos that make you happy. So if I just consume myself in the comments, like that for me, that's days. I wouldn't be able to like make any content. So how do you keep all subscribers happy? You try to stay as steady as you can from the gate. Because well, people can see through fake people. Like if it's just bottom line, if you're phony, if you're an actor, it'll catch on. If you bring people to you for being you, then that's bottom line. They're gonna stick with you throughout the end because well, if that's what you've given them, then they're gonna keep being there for you. And then again, people move on. People will get tired of watching something, and you need to be accepting about that. Like you can't worry about sometimes old things too much because you gotta always worry about yourself and what makes the majority happy. So
yeah, we still get that too. I mean, we have fans who are like, I liked you better when you lived in your mommy's attic before you were successful. And it's like, what am I supposed to do about that? You know, like, am I really gonna like, am I gonna let that bring me down? It's like, think about the audience. It's like some people with bands, they get attached to a certain record. And it's not necessarily that record's better. It might just be because at that point in their life, that record was like, it meant something to them emotionally. It might be that's how the fans were with that particular moment in their life. That's why they connected with them. And it's not necessarily that you or your format's bad now. You know, so you really can't believe it.
And although your content is obviously like what brings them there, like it is the personality that you portray. It's your own story that keeps them connected. So if you are genuine, you're not being fake, and if you just continue to be yourself and do what you do best, like you keep the people that you need to keep. I mean, the internet is the internet. There's constantly people going to go.
Yeah.
What you like, can't be upon you.
And on that note, anybody that has been on YouTube, like actually has developed anything in YouTube or has just been part of it, if you were there 4 years ago and now, you can't tell me that YouTube itself hasn't changed to an extent even for the worse. And it has a lot of great things, but like the audience back then, or maybe even us back then, we have the mentality to be able to watch a video for a whole hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. People have changed completely to the point, like if you look at the bigger people out there, what do? It's essentially like almost to an extent it seems like they're copying each other. And not to say that there's a rule that you can't do something that somebody else did, because that's not what I want to portray here. But the reality is that we're becoming such, even myself, I want that instant gratification, that pop, 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 pop. So, yeah. So right now, if you notice, the bigger people are one that, there's some people that can get away with it, but the bigger people are now making content that is really, well, lengthwise really small. So like, you want to find a ways to keep them coming to you. You want to find a way to like, all right, oh my God, if somebody says, man, this video was really, really short, I wish there was more. I don't see it as like them complaining. It's like, wow, they want more of it. So guess what? I upload daily. You can come tomorrow and I'll have more of that. You know, for me, as I went on, I learned that trimming the fat off and be like, all these random banter that I would have, I can no longer have it because people would just be like, all right, I'm gonna pet my dog. Like, oh, okay, there goes my viewership. They're gonna do other things. You gotta find a way to keep their attention throughout the whole time. And if that means taking away what could be boring, if you wouldn't watch it, why other people would watch it? That's the mentality. If you wouldn't stay there for the whole thing, then why would others? Like, you gotta kind of be realistic. It's the part that nobody really tells you. Like, the internet is amazing, but it's a really dark place and toxic, and it has changed, man. They can put you at the top, and when they're at the top, they're like, we don't like you there. They knock you down, and it's not the triumphs that you have. It's like, how do you pick yourself up and where do you go from there?
We actually had to go through that too. Our series is notoriously bad for like hour-long episodes because it's us like recording ourselves all night, like pouring our hearts and souls into this game, like triumphs, the failures, and like our core audience loves it, you know. But like for the mainstream, like they need to watch several videos before it really they go, oh wow, I get it. Like I'm into this. You can see it in the YouTube analytics, like audience retention as time goes on.
And like I think that's even just people are not into the internet. They're just
right. Yeah.
Time is precious, and you guys sitting here to us, it means the freaking world. Like thank you for giving like all of you guys are like your ears. Like this means a lot to us, and like hopefully we're gonna tell you what we can to either you guys can better yourself if this is something you're trying to do. Like let it be your game, develop it yourself, and an artist, somebody that's into the social media news, whatever. You gotta be honest and all that jazz. You gotta be honest, but sometimes you gotta be to the point or yourself. Like there's so much stuff that you can't just like here's a book on how to become successful. There's no such thing.
We also have to try to make sure that each of our entries can kind of stand on its own. Like there is, I guess, a plot more or less at the beginning, middle, and end for something that like when they sit there and watch for that 15 minutes, they feel resolved. But then something can happen that's also on to the next one. Because we used to do like hour-long ones and people would watch the first 15 or 20 minutes. And because we simply just record while we're debbing and everything else, like 2 or 3 weeks go by, we're like, oh, we have all this footage, and as much as we try to squish it down, it's still like an hour. So being iterative with that, making sure that you are also telling a sort of narrative or story along with your series too.
Something that's funny is like Twitter's kind of a big deal. Like, in case you didn't know that, like we're starting to make like Twitter-friendly YouTube videos. You know, like if it can easily be tweeted with like your YouTube video, we're actually finding like the audience retention for that's good because like we're scrolling down on their iPhone or whatever on the toilet and they're like, oh, what is this? Like, real quick, watch it. They're like, oh, that's cool. You know, I retweet.
I'm guilty of toilet sessions.
Me too, man.
I'm guilty of this. That's where my best imagination comes from. Toilet, you know. And if people bother me, I'm taking a dump. How can you be mad? How can you be mad when you're doing your business? It's impossible. And that's what I learned to limit myself to. Like, again, this is your best friend, but your worst enemy. Like learning to like put it down and actually having one-on-one conversations. It's so meaningful because again, like the internet has facilitated us to take that. Well, who are you and what do you do? And then is he gonna like me? Like the internet can be like, hey, you smell, winky face. Like why? Like it just facilitates so much easier. But learning to separate that because again, you get consumed by this. You lose friends. You lose people that you everything. You lose everything thanks to this. This is the reason why I can still be able to come here and talk to you guys. But this is the reason why at times I don't sleep. This is the reason why like I can do like function as maybe at times I normally would. Because well, at least I don't know how for everybody else here, but like as a YouTuber, your mind is 24/7. Like you don't. It's not like before when I worked at McDonald's. I'm like, all right, great. I get to yell at my manager from 7 to 5. Awesome. After 5, you guys get to turn off your brains and you can just, all right, what's on the TV? What's going on here? For me, I had to worry about, all right, well, they're making a new game. What year does it come out? Is it? Oh, all right. So I need to make sure that find a way to actually get involved with them or do something. Like you never as a YouTuber or somebody in the social media, you never get to turn your mind off. And some people are like, oh, what's live? You're playing video games. Why are you're being a jerk about it? This is a dream job. It is a dream job. I'm not saying that I hate it. It's just that I can't lie to everybody. I cannot lie to everybody and say that this is like an easy thing to do. Because again, to be successful, you have to constantly do it. And you never get to turn your mind off. And it's one of the best / worst things that you can do to yourself. It's like, it's good to be able to go from 7 to 5. It's good to be able to like, all right, I get to relax for a second. So, yeah.
So, Iris, you guys take a lot of time doing everything, especially like comic shows and everything. How has all those efforts helped boost your sales?
It hasn't. No, stuff like that shows that we like listen to the community, like what they're asking us, and like we'll cover stuff that they're asking why we're certain. And we'll make fun of ourselves. I mean, the self-deprecating humor really endears us to our fan base, I think, because I mean it shows that we're not perfect. Because, I mean we're not, and I mean if we can just make light of that, people will be more understanding of us, like better game. So
Take like huge video game juggernauts like Riot and Blizzard, and they're super serious, so serious all the time. Their videos are so well made, and yeah, you know, we could probably do that too, but like instead we opt to be silly, like you know what I mean?
ours are well made.
Like, no, but like we opt for the more silly, the more relaxed, because we are, you know, we're a big company, we're growing a lot, but we're still fairly small compared to those juggernauts, and we like to stay humble. And with YouTube as well, with what you were saying, it's very important to stay humble, because that's how people like you. You don't want to be like thinking that you know everything, and you want to make content that's just like perfect. There's got to be imperfections for it to have character, and that's what our shows are. That's why our art show, we put it up on YouTube, and that is an hour long on YouTube. We don't cut it down, and there's still like maybe 3,000 plus votes because they're likes, because people like it. People will watch it, so we're silly.
We stand very genuine to who we are, even as a studio. Like,
Oh, yes. People are walking around barefoot, throwing
Like,
gun battles.
It's just how it is.
Yeah,
There's one of my destinations.
I think that transparency, like from us, like not only like we have our executives on Reddit, like answering these questions, saying like, oh hey guys, are really good on our president gets on Twitter and says that.
Yeah, the community knows that like
Yeah.
Todd, there's no like, you know, oh, the CEO, the COOs have their own different cubicles, or they have their own special offices. They're in there with us. They're in the pit with everyone. They walk around like, what you doing? And they make jokes with us. They drink beers with us. And the community knows that because of Green Contrast and Green Spot.
Yeah, I mean, it comes through in our content. I mean, like, Arias, the CEO, they'll just walking us up the street. Like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
man. Like,
Production will be like, oh my god.
cancel everything. I mean, yeah, I mean, in all of our videos, it's all hired people. Like, those are people that are in the studio, like, we'll just pull, like, hey, you want to do something good? All right. They're stuff out of things.
We don't hire actors to
So it's,
read us.
yeah, I think it makes the whole company seem more approachable, and I think people respond really well to that. Play our game.
It's free to play.
Yeah, so
What's better for us? Okay. Well, I guess now we're supposed to have audience questions. Unless you guys have anything else you want us to talk about.
I have more of a comment to kind of elaborate on that too, what we were just talking about. I'm on the dev side of Hi-Res, but I'm Nick Barkins. I work at Hi-Res. I'm a programmer. But you know, I've been there a long time, and I've seen our projects. You know, we haven't always had the level of production that we have now. We've really been focusing on that in the past few years, and so these guys are doing a great job at doing that. But one thing I've realized is one of the main successes to a game is the concept of resonance, and that's really where, you know, it can come in a lot of different forms, but it's where you are thinking about the game or experiencing the game while you're not actually playing it. So it could be like you mowing the lawn and thinking about, oh, I want to level up my character, but it could also be like, you know, you're watching a YouTube video of somebody playing the game or watching a Twitch stream and things like that. And so I think the investment in these kinds of broadcasts are a really good way to keep the resonance going in a game, because if you don't have that, then all you have is sit at the computer, play the game, then you forget about it. It'll die off. And community really drives the resonance factor. And Smite at least.
In every one of our videos, there is an underlying or an overlying tone of Smite. Obviously, it's all Smite related, but yeah, it's not like just where it was the stream back in like maybe you were there for a long time, maybe, but no, it's like it was just Bart or whoever streaming the game, and that's it. Now that we've got all this content, people are like, oh, well, you know, this reminds me of a skit, or this would be really funny, and a question to ask for community contrast to get people like involved and playing our art show, we sit down in a meeting in the morning, the day of the show, and we just write a composition notebook, jokes and, or not jokes, but like that outline, like what we're going to talk about, our challenges and everything like that, and then we like,
What's going on?
oh, okay.
Train of thought gone.
It was departed, is like the station. Yeah, how much do we script what we do in our content? Well, for the art show, we just pretty much have a meeting beforehand, just discuss the very bare bones of the show. Everything else is just us kind of going off of it because we're showcasing artwork. So we want to keep it as fresh as possible. So we'll look at the artwork, we'll go over what we want to show, because there are some people that'll send us really inappropriate stuff, like after night booty, just like in your face, and we're like, we can't show that. So go over the artwork and be like, okay, we'll think of some topics that we want to hit on. But overall, the show is just pretty much us reacting to that artwork, which I think is really good for the person that submitted it to us, because they'll be like, oh my god, this is what they genuinely think. It's not them like writing whatever, some generic description.
I would be able to remember anyway. Like,
I actually have, like, during the show, I have the composition notebook right there with
she
me.
does.
And
I
I'm
know.
like,
I'm just like,
was that
Sheet, and we have like a whiteboard behind the camera of just like bullet points.
almost there. I'm just.
But yeah, so, there. Oh no, we have simple things. Yeah.
Like I know for a lot of the content we put on our YouTube, like it's my YouTube, puts out Snap, Twitch stuff, like all of that is pretty heavily scripted. So like creating contrast, it's fun. Like I fully write up the script because I'm worried that we're not funny enough on our own. So we have to write it up. But then like all our Twitch stuff, that's all improv pretty much.
Yeah.
We tried one Twitch like it's like 5 weeks ago where we tried scripting a lot of it and it was a nightmare. So don't do that for Twitch. Yeah, I mean, it's really what you're comfortable with. It depends on the content. I mean, if you're doing something that like has to have really sharp timing, like the scripts or at least some kind of skeleton, like of what it's going to be is necessary. But if you just want it to be your personality and get people to know you, like stuff, you can't script it.
I guess for you, and I guess from a YouTuber standpoint, I would say it could go either way, really. As long as you get, you're always gonna go with one point. Like if you, let's say, in a game, and I really like if it's gonna get not that much attention because it's unique or it doesn't have like a AAA backer market cast, or for a Dreamcast, a console that has been dead for how long? Like that takes some major components to actually have the ability to go with that. But the reality is like when it comes to like if you want to just in the back of your head what are the main points that you want to get out. As long as you can do it in a fresh, elaborate way, and when you replay it back, you'll be like, you don't cringe completely unless that's what you're going for,
Don't get me wrong, we do multiple takes sometimes for all the content, but it is ad-lib, it's just cool.
Yeah, no, it's again, you will always know, like, let's say you're doing something with you, you're like, all right, well, we're going to teach you today how to make the winged eyeliner. The whole point is, like, in the video, you want to make sure that you get that part done. How do you get to there? Well, that's you. It's just make sure that, well, you can go with the mentality of being scripted. That's great, it can work. But if you want people to be there for you, then make sure you do the best you can and at one point get to what matters. So, yeah.
That's why we're really super happy with our art show because it's not scripted and nobody comes up to us and goes, hey guys, this is the most important show on the stream. We need you guys to do this and this and be structured. They're like,
I would freeze.
have fun, kiddies. Enjoy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we have community members really awesome stuff, and they're really we know exactly what's happening. And we have us, so I'm actually a producer, and occasionally it's like, hey, let's have a workshop, let's talk about the game. And it's a little weird, because it's like, yeah, we're not
It's got personality.
Yeah, either.
Professional.
And so that's why like the videos like Ring and the Swan and then the art show, two completely different videos, but they're for the same reason. it's a perfect balance of having it be scripted because we want that comedy, that kind of comedy to come out well, and then for us to be ad-libbing, super casual, just two girls being stupid, and that's still charming. One girl being stupid and just like chilling and everything. It's a perfect balance of like having it scripted or just being silly, and they both work really well. Like people love us and people kind of like that.
It depends on if you want good content or boring.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, maybe we should.
So you're a small independent developer, you don't really have a fan base, so they can travel. How do you attract people to your YouTube? And how do you, if you're contacting YouTubers, what do you guys?
All right, you gotta be really, really careful with that.
Question.
You want me to repeat the whole question? Are you serious? Can they come up here and whatever? Because that's ridiculous.
Yo, Mike, check 1, 2, check it out. He asked me, he was creating a game, and he wants to know how to make the game have more people follow, you know, just have an audience. How does he create that, and how does he approach people like myself or other YouTubers and whatnot? Thank you for the question. So, question to answer now.
Thank you. That's a great question. It sounds way too much like we're relating now. But the reality is you gotta be really, really careful. There's certain people that are able to actually just like myself, they approach me like, hey, I'm doing this kind of game. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, if it's fun and I can have, I was blunt. But if the game is fun, then I'll give the game a shot. There's a lot of people out there that their channel is mainly, well, this person hasn't done it, or this person hasn't done it. They want to have something fresh that hasn't been seen. Because again, like, there's certain people that drive on repetitiveness and they do Minecraft forever. And I know myself, I have an audience that likes Minecraft, so I give them Minecraft daily. I give them Minecraft every day, something short, whatever. But for you to approach people is essentially a gamble. You gotta see who would appreciate a game like yours, and you gotta be very selective. And some people just play League of Legends, and you give them a game like what they're making, like, oh, I don't care about your game. They don't give them time of day. You have to be selective of who you go to, because again, you want success on your game. You want a community based on your game. Is your game a game that can make a community? Is your game something that is for only one person to play and enjoy the story? You gotta know your game, and if, like I said, who knew? Who knew that Minecraft would be such a successful game? Like, Lego blocks on the computer, but people are like, where's the graphics in this? Because at one point we were all about, wow, look at this, it looks so real. And then this game comes, no, shut up, play the game. This game has barely any graphics, but you can enjoy the hell out of it. Like, who would know that? If your game is enjoyable, they're gonna play it. If you want people to go to it, sometimes you gotta have money. That's all they have in the back of their head. This is a deal. This person's bringing a deal to me. And if you have the ability to get that, that's great. You go for it, because it will get a specific kind of audience, or it's gonna get that attention that you want.
Are you saying play YouTubers to?
There's people that go with that mentality. There's people that
you feel about like the
I have gone to it. I got people that, but the thing is, I don't pick games that I can't like there's certain games that I can't like just even like, hey, check it out, we're gonna pay you to do this, to broadcast this game. I'm like, this game is this game is garbage. I can't say something legit about it. I don't want to be like, oh my god, this game is so much fun, and me just pour out of my mind, because people see through that. There's again, companies have YouTubers where they give them deals and be like, check it out, they're going to give you $3,000 because this is their marketing budget, and they jump on it because of the money. But I personally, I have done that, and I have done like with them, like if they explain the game, I'm like, yo, hook me up with a beta code. I'll have the exclusiveness of that nobody else is having it, but I can give you that genuine thing, and I can be like, I don't need their payment is the exclusivity sometimes sweet. So it depends on who you go to. Some people. Now actually, I don't even need to do that. That's now a new rule. They're doing that for Twitch. where if there's a paid thing, you'll see like a little plus thing and sponsored by. And now if you start looking at the main thing you guys gotta look as developers, you gotta look at descriptions. The descriptions are gonna tell you when somebody's just actually being paid for that. So let's say Smite were to pay somebody and for a deal, it'll say sponsored by Smite in the description. Those are the things that you guys gotta look at. So sometimes people will genuinely have fun. Like if somebody were to say, we're gonna pay you to play Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm like, I can have my cake and eat it. Oh my god! So I'm gonna be more excited than ever because well, if you guys as developers have to do your homework too. That's the thing. Like just because I'm YouTube doesn't mean that I'm gonna just do it. You gotta see. All right, let's say somebody like Uber Haxer Nova, like one of the creatures. Be like, all right, he plays a lot of random games and he has like this mentality. So if I give him an exclusive, he'll probably play. Or if you go with the mentality of like paying him. If he decides to take that, that's on him. We always, as YouTubers, have the ability to say, well, I don't want to get paid. If you're that kind of person that just wants to make money, good for you. Do you. I ain't trying to hate on anybody like that. But if you want genuine reactions, there's people for that. There's big people for that will love it for that. People in the Yachtcast on YouTube. One of my friends is a little boy. He sometimes does games that barely anybody plays for free. It's just because he wants to showcase a game. What does he get? He gets exclusivity of like being one of the first people to show it. I think that was the same thing that happened with this game Cube World and a lot of games like that. They blow up because everybody's like, I want to play it, but only this YouTuber has it. Well, can he represent that hype for your game? Can he make it, want other people to play? Because that's what you need to do. If you go for somebody that does troll videos, expect your video to be a troll thing and just be a one-hit wonder. You gotta make sure that whenever you approach a YouTuber, a specific person, that you did your homework too. Because me personally, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of people like, well, we're gonna make you. How about a racing game? How many racing games have I played? I tell people like, have you seen like Mario Kart? And it's because it's one of those games that I can have like kiddish fun. I don't do Forza. I don't do Formula One. I don't do. You have to do your homework as a developer. Does this person have done something like that? Good. Can they make a game fun in their way if they never played it because it's different? Good. Because again, with my connection with Hi-Res, Smite was an alpha, and I was just recently getting kind of tired of League of Legends because I was tired of working. I said, listen to me. I'm the kind of person that likes to press forward and walk. That's crazy. But they gave me the mentality like, listen, we're going to give you the MOBA, we're going to give you this ability to play with gods, which that to me is like, I know who Poseidon is, I know who Zeus is, regardless if I saw it in Disney, because of Hercules, I know who Zeus is, I know this, so I felt that this was something that anybody, even though a MOBA was completely new to my channel, it was something that people could be like, oh, I know that, and if it's cooler, like if it, like again, Zeus, the lightning, that was cool.
Just kidding to say that.
They couldn't pay me enough for that.
We kind of bridged the gap because we had to build our own community for our games. I mean, we started out on Facebook, Twitter, everything, pushing our own content like that.
Yeah. Actually, like I wanted to say, like we're really big on social media in general, and definitely like I feel like the biggest, most loyal fan base comes from YouTube. But I feel like you have to get to a certain point to really start gaining momentum on YouTube. And for any developer starting out, like what I recommend is there are Facebook groups, like indie game developer Facebook groups, indie game developer YouTube Facebook groups. Join them all, post your game there, go to forums like TakeSource, participate, Twitter Screenshot Saturday, Soundtrack Sunday, Reddit Screenshot Saturday, link them all to your YouTube there. Start building like your YouTube fan base, channel in all of your other social media to YouTube there, and it can start snowballing from that. I feel like that's the best way for an indie developer who's not known to get started on YouTube.
Well, any other questions?
It's just a question about like social media in general. Like, say you're not on making fan videos, if you're more like creating art for DeviantArt or something like that. artists can build a fan base just through artwork alone?
Twitter, man. Hashtag pixel art, participate. They're like screenshot Saturday. There's so many cool trends.
This month is Inktober.
And Facebook groups and forums and things like that. There's
Not really to do with video making, but more showing off artwork, like DeviantArt or something like that. How do you
How do you
build a fan base? How do you fan base? Well, like what he said, actually, like it's actually all social media ties in together, always. Like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, even Pinterest, which is key.
It's just like sketchbook. Say you draw something in your sketchbook. Are you drawing something in your sketchbook?
No, I'm taking notes.
Okay, but anyways, you take your cell phone, you take a picture of it, post it on Instagram. Instagram, there's all these buttons. Twitter, Facebook, click them all. Tumblr, you click them all.
And
all goes.
hashtags seem really stupid because they're like absolutely ridiculous for the youth now. It's like hashtag YOLO, whatever. But they're actually hashtag. Well, hashtags are super simple, yeah, especially on Instagram because hashtags now are actually clickable on Instagram. So if you were to put hashtag Inktober, you click that. And it takes you to an entire thing of different artwork and different artists. Everyone that uses that hashtag are brought together like that. And with YouTube, if you want to be an artist on YouTube, that is a possibility because there are so many artists out there who record their artwork. Yeah, like that. Do something crazy big and record it, and either that or like put a camera over yourself. Either you record it in Photoshop using some sort of recording software, or you just like finagle some weird little MacGyver thing with your camera over, while you're drawing something if you're a traditional artist. And people will watch it, always, like, especially if you're really good. And even if you're not good, just go out there and expect critiques. Be like, have a tough skin and be like, all right, I just drew this picture of Adam jiggling. Tell me how I can make it better, even though it's like 15 circles. Tell me how I can make it better. And there's going to be always someone out there. Like, yeah, there's going to be trolls and people like, oh, look, he's great. Look, there's a Pikachu or whatever. Yeah, just like there's going to be people out there that are going to give you solid advice. So you just have to like, social media.
You have to put yourself out there.
Instagram is not just for food and Starbucks.
selfies.
Or art pixel artists, concept art from the beginning and like showing them like actually drawing it out. So that's what like Twitch streams or like this. That's some of our fans will post on our Facebook page and roll over while he's actually doing art. It'll go from concept art to like in-game pixel art to like building an actual game and building a level that way, so you can see that kind of thing as well. I mean, using Twitch streams, you can sit there and communicate with them, describe what you're working on, feel like they were scared of it.
I've gotten feedback from Twitch streams and stuff like that long time. Like, oh yeah.
Absolutely right. Twitch is perfect too. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, like Twitch is amazing. It's not just for games, it's for artists as well. If you're just draw some game like
There's streams for artists. I think they have Justin TV, so you can get. Do they have? I don't know. Well, they have places. Make sure that if you're doing something in Twitch, make sure it's gaming related, so you still abide by their rules. But like, there's memes. And again, like when they were saying the whole Instagram putting hashtag, if you tag that into Tumblr actually works like that. Where like, if you have to put a hashtag in it in order to actually appear in the filter. So like again, like Inktober, when you actually just do things with pieces of ink, just make sure that it's weird. You gotta kind of have to like ride the train. Like I love artists. I'm not an artist myself, but I depend on art for like videos and whatnot or thumbnails, so people can like be like, oh, what is this? So like make sure that you kind of have to like be in the known or in the loop, and the moment you're in it, you can't get away with it. You'll know what's the next thing happening. You're like, all right, cool. Then people will actually have more eyes on my work. If you want people to see it, you have to be with them.
If you're not going to do gaming related, and so you want to avoid Twitch, you can do a Google Hangout and tie it into your YouTube to like live stream that way, and it'll automatically be on your YouTube channel and YouTube Plus, and it'll be uploaded as a video once it's done. So you can avoid gaming and stuff.
And you mentioned DeviantArt because I think it's really important too. Because I was on DeviantArt too, and I still am. And something I start off on DeviantArt just posting your own personal work or your own original characters, it might not get that many hits. You have to be super lucky for it to be like amazing. Either super lucky or super really good at what you do. So fan art is actually what saves a lot.
That's true.
Yeah, you draw fan art of something that's super popular now. You draw like Attack on Titan or like video game artwork or something. Fan art is probably the easiest way to get your foot in the door and to get people to notice you. Because people will go to people will search it on Google and be like, I want to see Jigglypuff. I don't know why that's in my head. It's stuck in there. I don't know. But anyway, so like people will Google Jigglypuff and you draw them. So it'll come up on the Google feed or whatever, and they'll click on it, it'll send you to your DeviantArt page, and they'll see it, and then they'll be like, oh, well, let me see what else this artist has done because they like that particular Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
They like your style.
Yeah, it's just it's a door opener.
Yeah, you need a hub.
You need a hub for DeviantArt specifically. Make sure that you put your art. Just like go and join as many groups as you can. Whatever, especially if there's like fairy groups, like whatever you want, and put your artwork in there because that just broadens so many people can see it.
Also tag your stuff, like make sure because like you're gonna get if you like not only that but make sure like you find a way that you tag or you put like what's your name?
John.
Well, let's say your name is John Too Fast. Make sure you put slap John Too Fast on the art because like as awesome as the internet right now, it's really easy for someone to be like, whoop, take it and say this is mine. F John, I made it. If you don't actually, I guess I'm just trying to protect you. As much as awesome as it is, you gotta be very, very careful because again, those hours that you put into a piece means nothing to some people. It's so easy for them to go, it's mine, get out of here.
That's why you gotta post it on as many social media sites as you can. On DeviantArt, you can actually post links to your Tumblr if you have one, and if you don't, get one. Get a Tumblr. You can post to your Facebook. You make your own Facebook page, which is really awesome. You can do your Twitter and everything like that. You just list off everywhere where they can find you. Because somebody, the right person, might come along and see that drawing and be like, I would like to see more of this guy, and then they'll show it off, and then it'll just like you'll get bigger and bigger. Yep.
I think that's all we can do. Yes. Yes, that's it.
That's fine. That's good. I hope that we help one way or another, whatever you guys got going on. Seriously, it's going to be hard, but nothing worth it is easy. Just know that. Just put your time and effort in. Like, if you fail once, make sure you stand up and keep going at it. Because again, learn from mistakes and whatnot. You guys all have the ability. Like, again, like English is my second language. I went from learning English from watching Cartoon Network actually, and watching cartoons because I thought that was actually cool. I'm like, I want to know what they're saying to those actions tied. So remember, this industry is very loving, but it's also can be your worst enemy. And just be aware of that. Don't think that people just have the ability to just like ruin your day so easily without them thinking that you actually did it. They think they're just joking. So there's that really, and keep at it. Seriously, nobody becomes something just because they just tried it once. Oh wow, good for you.
Thank you guys. Thanks for